Hi, everyone, and welcome to the October public delivery meeting for Panquake.com. My name is Suzie Dawson, founder of Panquake, and yet again, I'm here to update you on the progress of this amazing crowdfunded project. I'm going to jump straight into our presentation tonight. It has been an enormous month and a difficult month in many ways for Panquake. And we wanted to take you through our accomplishments, but also some of the hardships that we've faced this month. As many of you will know, this month we lost Annalise Garcia. Annalise was an integral part of our team. She was a highly productive team member. She had her finger in every pie, and we relied on her in so many ways. And it was absolutely devastating and heartbreaking for us to lose her. She touched every single member of our team. Every single member of our team was absolutely gutted at losing her. The first full team meeting that we had after she passed was the most difficult meeting that we've ever had. Our entire team was sobbing their hearts out at the unexpected loss of Annalise. But that also brought us closer together as a team as we were able to share our grief with each other and our experiences with Annalise. I was very proud of our team when we pulled together straight away after Annalise's passing and were able to support her family and try and provide them with material assistance to cope with her loss. Annalise left behind a younger sister who has a serious disability. She's severely autistic. She can't speak, has never been able to, and requires full on care on a daily basis. And also, Annalise's mother has been fighting cancer. Annalise was the caregiver for both her younger sister and for her mother. And so the loss of Annalise has completely devastated their family. Sean O'Brien, in particular, our chief security officer, jumped right on board with helping Annalise's family, helped them to set up a GoFundMe. The link for that GoFundMe is here on this image, gofundme.com/if/Annalise-Garcia the world lost bright light. But you can simply type Annalise Garcia into the search on GoFundMe and bring up that link. We're asking everybody to please support her family. They will need ongoing financial assistance into the future to cover medical expenses, funeral expenses, mortgage and vehicle expenses. We really are committed to going for the long haul for supporting this family, and we ask you to join us in doing that. Annalise had several key roles with our organization. She was the relationship manager for Panquake, which meant that she managed our relationships with our endorsers. She used to communicate with them on the regular, keeping them updated about everything that we were doing. She also had a really key role with Talk Liberation, our digital tech publication. She was coordinating our digital media team and was responsible for a lot of the amazing publishing work that we've been doing there. So it was really just left a huge hole in our organization, her passing. We were so reliant on her, and it really, as we would say in New Zealand, knocked us for a six to lose this beautiful girl. We were so lucky to have her as a part of our team. I feel extremely blessed that she was in my life, both as a friend and as an employee and a colleague. And yeah, we will be thinking up very special ways to give tribute to Annalise going forward. Moving on from that, we have, however, had some good progress on the project this month, even though obviously the unexpected passing of Annalise definitely put a damper on things. We're now 86% funded in phase 2 of our fundraising. We've raised $143,808 out of the $167,000 that we need for the build. We obviously need to push through and finish that fundraising round as quickly as possible in order to launch our final phase 3 funding round, which is what will enable us to deliver our beta application. Our coding has progressed, not as much as we'd hoped, because a lot of this month, Sean and I weren't able to be as hands-on with the team as we normally are. But we still have made good progress, and I'll get into a bit of the specifics around that shortly. We are moving on to blockchain planning and implementation. I talked a little bit about this last month. It's likely that we will be engaged in the blockchain build through the rest of this year, which is a reasonable time frame for the scale of what it is that we're building there. We're still doing our beta advertising and marketing, and then pushing towards getting our approvals out so that we can move into the rollout for the beta. So if you'd like to support us and move us all along faster, you can do so at panquake.com/donate. In terms of what the devs are up to, we have now fleshed out a lot of the functionality around user accounts. So last month, our big revelation was that we had on our test network successfully had authenticated users messaging each other, sending, receiving, and verifying encrypted messages, which is fantastic. So we already had created the ability for users to be authenticated, and the authentication service is up and running. So since then, we've been fleshing out the additional functionality that is required for account management, particularly guest user creation. So we've promised for a long time that people will be able to use Panquake unregistered if they wish and anonymously. So this is this guest user creation is the function that allows people to do that. We also now can assign handles to users, and we have a handle lookup function. And also the beginnings of the subscription and payment. And so when I say the beginnings, I mean our end, the Panquake end of allowing users to select a subscription and payment option is done. And then of course, we'll be doing integrations with payment services a little bit further down the line. And also now we've got the ability to allow users to temporarily deactivate and then to reactivate user accounts. So that's obviously all really critical path stuff that had to be done, and that is complete. So we want to show you also transparently, like we have in the last 2 months, our Talk Liberation metrics. So Talk Liberation is your worldwide internet report every week, giving you an aggregated stream of really important internet privacy, internet freedom, security, law, updates, news from around the world, particularly news that tends to fly under the radar, but which we know is really important to users of Panquake and to our community, and also to ourselves. So our subscriptions on Talk Liberation this month are up basically 50%. So that's just absolutely huge growth. You can see there's a big jump there in subscriber numbers. We expect that there'll be another couple of big jumps this month as we've got some more really super original content that we're rolling out. We're at 10% of subscribers are electing to pay for their subscriptions, which is directly supporting the Panquake application and the Panquake build. As all of the money that we earn through Talk Liberation, we funnel straight back into the Panquake fundraising. And we have an average open rate in the last 4 weeks of 29%, which is enormous by industry standards. I don't know how else to describe it than enormous. I had a very experienced marketing manager tell me that they were happy if they could present to their board that they had a 10% open rate. So 29% means our audience is highly engaged and that our content is highly engaging. So that's absolutely fantastic. So I just wanted to quickly go over again. I have showed this slide in previous months, but I just really wanted to again reiterate to people why we are doing Talk Liberation. Because there are a range of benefits from it, but really this is about primarily creating a sustainable income stream to support Panquake so that we are not reliant on one-off donations. Obviously, crowdfunding is great. It's gotten us really far to date, and I'm very happy that we used a crowdfunding model, but it is very difficult to not have any idea how much money will come into the business in any given month. Talk Liberation allows us to have a service where we can receive recurring payments from supporters, where we can have a fixed income stream, and can do more sound and stable planning around resources into the business, and particularly supporting that release of the beta application. So in terms of benefits to our community, Talk Liberation is educating our community and ourselves, is keeping us up to date with the topics that really matter and the things that we all want to and need to be educated about. It's supporting the Creative Commons. If you saw our recent reporting last week, you would have noticed it says at the bottom that it's licensed under Creative Commons, which is very much in line with our ethos as an organization. We're engaging in public service journalism. So you won't find any like clickbait titillating junk on there. You'll find only stuff that is really critically important for people to know and which is serving the public good. In terms of benefits to Panquake, we're building our own voice, building a platform where we can have an increasingly big voice every single month. Again, it has the recurring payment options and is diversifying income sources for Panquake and giving us a secondary method of funding rather than just being reliant on the fundraising. So Talk Liberation Investigates launched this month. I'm sure that it wouldn't have escaped many of your notice. We launched our new series, #WL Dragnet, based on primary source documents that we obtained in the public arena, which reveal a pattern of systematic targeting via social media mass surveillance of activists, journalists around and regular people around the world. And we've been doing really hard-hitting, in-depth journalism on that publication. Talk Liberation Investigates is the second journalistic offering on talkliberation.com. So first of all, we have the weekly internet report that I just spoke about. And secondarily, we have these lengthy, deep dive investigative pieces. Talk Liberation Investigates content is free to anyone who is subscribed to Talk Liberation. So we have chosen not to paywall this. We believe that the information is too important to paywall, but we do ask that if you are able to, that you do voluntarily select a paid subscription option, which is then contributing to supporting both Talk Liberation, the publication, and Panquake.com, the software development project. So how big is WL Dragnet? It is 1,365 documents. It contains over 10,000 names of people who are being targeted via this open source intelligence, it's known as OSINT, which is information that is public information, which is being aggregated together for the purposes of profiling and then targeting people for various reasons. And those documents span 2018 to 2021. The people who we know of who've been targeted, there are many, many more, but in particular, Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, and WikiLeaks supporters are being targeted via this method. Uni4J, a movement in support of Julian that I founded in 2018, is a big target. Glenn Greenwald, the famous journalist, and Edward Snowden, as well as a number of other whistleblowers. Jimmy Dore, Jimmy's wife, Steph Zamorano, and Graham Elwood, the comedian, all have been targeted. Activists associated with the Medicare for All movement and Jimmy's Force the Vote movement also targeted. Max Blumenthal, another amazing investigative journalist from the Grey Zone, also targeted, and thousands more people have been targeted, and we've managed to unearth evidence of that and have presented it in our publication at talkliberation.com. So go there, check it out, sign up for the mailing list, and contribute if you're able. And this is the question we're asking, are you on the list? If you have an active social media account, if you care about political or social issues, there is a very high likelihood that you are on one of these lists. Okay, back to Panquake. In terms of fundraising goal, here's where we're at, 86% funded on phase 2. The second that we hit 100%, we get to launch phase 3, and that is the final fundraising round for this project. And then that will be it, and we'll be good to move forward. And the phase 3 funding is going to give us the money that we need to hire customer support and account staff, to hire technical support and operations staff, to get platform moderators and administrators, also to get some marketing support, some advertising and promotions for the beta. So obviously building a product is one thing, but supporting it and providing our users with an adequate level of service, or the level of service that they deserve, is another thing entirely. That will be expensive. We will have to do a massive fundraising push to raise those funds, but that is the way that this must be done in order to service our community. We need to be responsible about the way that we release the software, and we need to be conscientious about the level of service that we give to people. And that's why we've put so much thought into it, and why we'll be raising funds, substantial enough funds to ensure that we'll be able to provide the service we want to. So this was our 9th public delivery today. We've only got 2 more left for the year. I'm extremely proud of everything that we have done to date. We have achieved a remarkable amount of progress, considering at the beginning of this year, this was all just an idea. And now we have a functioning test network. Now we have nearly completed the authentication service and moving on to blockchain. We are well into the build, deep into the build now. And I'm very, very proud of everyone involved, particularly given the hard knocks that we've taken this month, and the suffering that came along with that. The way that the entire team has pulled together, have really looked after each other, and have really shown so much solidarity for the project, the team, and the product, and kept away hard at work making this happen for everyone. I'm super, super, super proud. And of course, this is it. Panquake is coming all the time. I hear people on social media saying, can't wait till Panquake comes, can't wait till Panquake comes. I'm moving to Panquake. Some of you asking, when is Panquake coming? Chomping at the bit to get your hands on it. The easiest answer is that, the support we've got in this year has answered the question, if Panquake is coming, yes, it is. But we need everybody's help to answer the question of when, because when is going to be dependent upon us raising the funds we need to in order to complete the work that we need to bring this all to you. So the more that you share the link, gogetfunding.com/Panquake, the faster we raise the money that we need to hit the funding targets, then the faster this will get into all of your hands. I just too wanted to talk about one other thing that Annalise did for us that most people wouldn't be aware of. Annalise actually was in charge of the beta application process for Panquake. And so she was working to compile and vet users. She had other team members helping her, but she was coordinating the process to vet users who apply for the beta to become beta users. And she was then doing approvals and notifying people that they'd been approved. She had completed 2 batches. Her and her team had completed 2 batches of vetted users and issued approvals for them. But at the time of her passing, she was just about to complete the 3rd batch. So obviously that work has now been reassigned to other people. They're upskilling and learning the process. And that 3rd batch of approvals will be going out. So I have seen a couple of people asking online, when will we hear back about this? The answer is you will hear back about it, but please just bear with us. Obviously, we need a little bit of time to just for everyone to catch up, and then those approvals will be coming out and you will be notified. So thank you for your patience on that. I'd just like to bring in Sean O'Brien now to have a catch up about what he's been up to this month and how he feels about everything. Sean is Chief Security Officer for Panquake and on the executive committee. Hi, Sean.
Hey,
He's
Susie, how are
also
you?
he's also my co-author on Talk Liberation Investigates and has been amazing.
That's right. Thank you. You've been amazing as well. You've done an excellent summary, as usual, of this month. It's been really hard, but the thing that sort of sticks with me the most is how much our team has come together and been able to work through tragedy and real grief. We had meetings, for example, where we shared our thoughts and feelings about Annalise and really just appreciation, as you said, for her being in our lives at all and in such an amazing capacity. She really was wonderful. Um, it's important to note, I think, yeah, she handled the beta process, handled a lot of the stuff that, for me, it made my life a lot easier, right? I'm doing the technical stuff, making sure the beta process works and so on, and having someone who can help us be the human presence, right? To vet through the applications, contact people, be the outreach, really was amazing. We've sort of picked up that piece as much as possible. We will be moving forward with all that. We thank you all for being here and supporting us through that whole process. But if we're kind of taking a little while to get our stuff together, then you'll understand. I want to say happy Halloween, by the way, because I know Annalise would want me to say that. Apologize for no costume, but maybe I'll get there later tonight. We'll see. Um, this month has been really revealing in a lot of ways. We've certainly learned we have a lot of support, a lot of friends. We're bringing a lot of folks on board, not only to Panquake, of course, but also to Talk Liberation and this reporting we're doing. That's been tremendous. We will continue to bring incredible investigative reporting. We have at least two parts left to this reporting to sort of reveal some very interesting things I'm sure you all will be very happy to see. So yeah, I mean, and despite all that, I mean, we looked back, we were like, okay, we've got this delivery, we've just done this incredible release of information, what's the development progress? And we have actually done some really amazing stuff. Um, those of you, especially the FOSS folks out there in the decentralized, federated social network world, will know how difficult identity can be, right? User handles, subscriptions, handling logins, guest, information, handling all that stuff in a private, secure way, making the flow straightforward, making sure the back end reflects the user experience. That's all really difficult work, and we've trotted along and done that. So really exciting stuff, really builds on the advances we did last month of getting the network sort of stitched together, and we'll keep moving forward. So I'm actually, very, very happy despite, some of the obstacles in front of us. It just goes to show how we can triumph over those things. So
Yeah, and we owe a big thank you to our team because really everybody has just had the most incredible attitude, and just the way everybody's been so mature and so loving and so kind. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate the support of the wider community who I think really shared our grief this month. Okay, anything else you'd like to add about what's coming up next, Sean?
yeah, I mean, it is staggering the scale of what we're revealing, and I know that sounds wild considering what we've just revealed about, a very massive social media mass surveillance, really, of WikiLeaks and Assange's support network. Um, we hinted in the article, and I hope you'll see as we're moving forward at some other connections we're about to make more strongly. And as we keep digging and keep looking, we keep finding more. So we're about to move from, talking about a very targeted group of folks into sort of wider implications for not just, social media users in general, but really democracy. And it's going to be quite interesting. I'm sure, from my perspective, the work that I've done in the past, the work I will continue doing, there's going to be a lot of academic interest in the topic uh, where we're about to go. So it's going to move beyond just talk liberation, I think, into something pretty substantial. And you're going to see the echoes of the past as well. So if you've been someone who's been following some of the revelations and information we've gotten over the past 10 years about how we're being surveilled, the reasons we're being surveilled, the purpose of this surveillance, I think you're going to be quite taken aback, but also, hopefully happy that we're pushing this forward. And for those folks who are unhappy, I know you're watching, and keep watching. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep having more to show, and we're not going to stop. So,
Yeah, if we're going to speak to those people, I'll just add one thing really. Um, I remember writing 10 years ago that it is from within the ranks of the machine itself that we will be emancipated. And that was prior to Snowden coming forward. There are people of conscience inside of these organizations that know that what is happening around them is not right, and that know that they're being tasked to harm human beings and hurt them and their lives, and in many cases, as collateral damage, the families, other relationships, and people around them who are completely innocent of anything. And if you are finding yourself in a role or a job or a situation where you are incentivized either by social pressure or financial benefit to harm other human beings, get out of that job, get out of that situation, blow the whistle, find a way to tell people what is going on, and don't make yourself a part of those crimes. So I would appeal to your conscience.
And that echoes the calls from civil rights groups throughout, the past 50, 60 years. You know, SDS, SNCC, all these other groups saying, hey, if you're an informant, if you're working on this stuff, please, come to the other side, so to speak. Um, if we can be a resource there, we will. All of the information we have to this point, as we've said through our reporting, is out there in the open, and it just takes some digging and some sort of correlation and some understanding and research to get to where we are. But of course, if you want to reach out, we're very available and we'd be happy to talk. So,
Agreed. The life of a whistleblower is a difficult life, but you can look yourself in the mirror and you can know that you're at peace with yourself and your choices and that you're no longer harming people. And that is actually priceless. It's priceless to have a clear conscience. And it's utterly miserable to be inside a situation where you know that you are creating harm. So I would appeal to you to take the steps to get out of that situation and to stop being a part of it. Be a part of the solution. And Panquake is definitely a solution. Okay, thank you all on that somber note. We will leave it there and we'll see you soon as we'll be promoting the work that we're doing through Talk Collaboration in the coming days and weeks. And then we will see you at the end of November for the next Panquake delivery meeting. Take care, everyone.